What's up, guys? Welcome back to Simple Man Podcast. It's your boy Nicky Rod.
Ethan Crelinsten.
I'm Damien Anderson. You're watching Simple Man Podcast.
Yes.
Before we get started, let's
show.
give a shout out to our sponsors, Massive Supplements and Violent Hippie. Massive Supplements, dietary products that provide very nutrient-dense foods. They have Smashin' Greens, which just has wheatgrass, spirulina, chlorella, maca, alfalfa. They also have Smashin' Reds.
Bro, most people ain't eating their veggies like that. It's a necessity to get some greens.
And thanks to these guys, they're going to get them. And they're Reds.
And the Reds, greens and reds. So high quality foods. Also have a cool challenge if you do their fasting challenge where you buy their 10-day fasting kit. If you do the kit, you send them before and after pictures, you follow everything properly, you actually get that 10-day fasting kit for free. They give you a full refund. Violent Hippie brand, they have branded gis, rash guard shorts, organic soaps, USDA CBD oils, hats, and shirts. The motto is be kind or else. The founder was a former Navy SEAL, so if you want to support our vets, go ahead and buy Massive Supplements, Violent Hippie, and they also have Violent Hippie Academy.
All right, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Oh, promo code. You get a promo code from us, Simple Man, 10% off. Simple Man, all caps, you get 10% off both Massive Supplements and Violent Hippie. Mitch Aguiar is the founder.
Thank you, Mitch Aguiar.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
All right.
And back to the podcast.
Yes.
All right, how do we start this thing off?
Well, I'd say first on the agenda is your most recent post. I think that's a very that's a good way to break things off.
I'm gonna read my caption.
All right.
All right.
You were 17 in that first photo.
17, yeah, and one of my first pumps, like first time
Lifting.
Probably like
First pumps.
First month of lifting. All right, so I posted a picture on Instagram from 17 to the age of 26, right? And then it goes from 180 pounds to 230 pounds. And my cat
180 at 17.
Yeah, 180, 185, yeah.
Okay.
But what were you freshman year of high school?
Freshman year of high school, I would check this jump out, right? And without cutting any weight, in middle school, which is 8th grade, I wrestled 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so 8th grade, I wrestled like 145, and then the year after I come into school like 170. And
Freshman year, you come
that's
in.
just from like a growth spurt.
This guy gave me some pills that make you grow faster. It's out of nowhere. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then freshman year I wrestled 160, and then sophomore, junior, senior I wrestled 170, and then after just getting like the normal 10 pounds from not like wrestling and whatnot, and then right after my senior year I just decided to start lifting weights and get fucking yoked. Yeah. All right, so this post I was like, professional jiu-jitsu is the most anabolic sport in the world. Period.
Anabolic.
Yeah. Everyone I compete against is abusing steroids. As a natural athlete in the world's dirtiest sport, I feel compelled to tell the younger generation to stay clean and chase technical superiority. Anyone can inject steroids and fast-track their muscle growth. It takes true discipline to build muscle naturally.
Boom.
Now, why did I feel obligated to say that, right?
Because you fought Gordon Ryan?
Well, that's one of them, right? Because juice does so much for the body, and I'm like
Almost as much as grease.
We don't know.
They're neck and neck. The studies are still out as which is more beneficial to performance, but
I mean, grease has its place for sure.
it has its place.
Yeah. I just felt obligated. I just feel like a lot of the younger kids see the pros competing, and so much of these guys are on steroids, and it's like they're not really preaching like health or longevity. They're just like, all right, train a little bit of jits, have like okay technique, and just be strong as fuck, and hopefully that'll get you somewhere. And as you can see, 90% of the athletes do gear and are nowhere. They're nobody. They have no success on the mats. They're just strong in and out the gym. And it's like if you're going to do gear, whatever, but you really have to have that pinnacle of technique and then maybe do that shit afterwards. You know what I mean? But I just, I don't know.
Honestly, I would agree with that. I would agree that so the sport's already filled with juice heads, right? But the young kids go into jiu-jitsu seeing that like all their favorite grapplers are on steroids, so they're like,
they think that's the approach. They're like, all right, I'm never going to be them unless I do exactly as they're doing.
I need to do steroids.
Yeah.
I feel like there is somewhat of an intelligent way that like an up and coming grappler can do it, and it's like you get to a world class technique,
and then you juice the fuck up.
And then you juice. I feel like what Gordon did.
Hey, he's doing pretty good. But I mean, look, you made it to his level without anything. So I mean,
no gear has ever touched this fucking virgin blood.
Yes.
All right? Hard work.
And
that's it.
That's it.
We're waiting for something else.
Hard work, man. Yeah, we've been.
Yeah, it's very tempting. Like I've been I've lifted bodybuilder style for like 7-8 years, and for sure it's very tempting just because you can get the results that take you naturally 6 or 7 years, and you could get that in like 6 months, and it's like
fast track.
It's mind blowing. It really is. But then obviously you have a bunch of health issues. We've seen it, heard it commonly. People have fucking stomach issues and like disrupts the sleep and whatever. I don't know, but yeah, there's a give and take.
Yeah, I think like we started, at least like me and Nicky were like living together in Jersey. We started actually taking lifting seriously probably like 5 years into 5 years into mine, and maybe like 3 or 4 years into his career. And it makes a difference, but it's just so like it takes long for it to actually make a difference.
Just to see the benefit.
To see the benefit. Like, yeah, you get a pump, you get a little stronger, you see yourself growing, but like to have a relative difference, because everyone's training, everyone's kind of lifting, but like you take it seriously, it takes years for it to actually pay off.
The hardest part about like gaining muscle in jiu-jitsu is just that you have to do so much cardio, and cardio is counterproductive to muscle growth.
Yeah, it's hard to get heavier if you're doing as much caloric deficit as you are when you're training.
So you have to
eat
much more food. You have to lift, obviously you have to lift hard, but I think the food is the biggest aspect in gaining muscle size, because the lifting's pretty easy. Like it's like mentally at least it's not fatiguing. It's physically fatiguing, but like you have to force the food down, which is probably the hardest part. And most people don't do the food. They just
What are you eating? What are you eating every day?
Well, my diet now is
in and out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my diet now, I'm not focused on gaining size necessarily. Just like I'm more about looking good and having the best endurance possible. So the basis of my meals has always been eat my body weight in protein. You're 240 pounds, eat 240 grams of protein every day. And for me, everything else just kind of fell into place. So from the day I started lifting, I started eating my body weight in protein. And obviously, as I gradually gain weight, I gradually increase those grams of protein. And I think that's just the best foundation you can have. Lift hard for sure, but even more than lifting, you have to eat your body weight in protein.
So say do you supplement this with protein shakes as well? Like, I didn't eat enough, so now I'm gonna drink a protein shake.
Yeah. So most days I have probably one shake. If my meals if I didn't eat enough, I'll do two protein shakes. But even if I do eat my protein, say I eat 230 grams in a day, I'll still top it off with a protein shake at the end, because like, if your body doesn't need it, you just poop it out.
Piss it out.
Yeah, it's not like you're eating bad shit, But I would definitely strive to hit your protein via food, and then top it off with some protein powder, because definitely your body's meant to be your body breaks down food much. Oh, this guy wants to make fun of my speech impediment.
He's had a stroke.
I mean, it's sometimes the connection from my brain to my mouth doesn't always.
It's all that extra protein. Yeah. That's the protein powder getting clogged up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know if you guys, but like I get the most questions about diet and lifting. Like, obviously that's either jiu-jitsu, diet, and lifting, but I think the majority is about what do you eat? What did you eat when you cut weight? How did you cut weight?
Or something.
Yeah, from the knee surgery recovery. Just stuff like that. So people, I think, care. There's a bigger group of people who care about that than jiu-jitsu, honestly.
Than actually getting. Well, I feel like it reaches more.
Lifting also.
It's like more common for the people like hobbyists.
Everyone eats. Not everyone does jiu-jitsu.
Well, even that, but it's like, all right, say you're a white belt or blue belt, but you're a hobbyist. It's like, how many of them actually aspire to be world-class grapplers?
Yeah,
or
whereas
are they just
all
training?
of them want to look good in some way.
Exactly.
Like
Or
me, I
recover
look
properly.
very good, and they want to look like me.
Yeah, that haircut looks very good.
It does. Hey, you're just jealous. Your hair goes like this. Mine's like
It just goes backwards.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
The wind.
Makes me faster.
But yeah. So eat your body weight in protein. Supplement that with protein shakes. Do you drink protein shakes?
I do. Creatine, protein shakes.
Oh, creatine. You guys
calorie
drink. You
gains
guys.
up there.
I don't eat creatine, but you guys have creatine every day, right?
Every day.
Well, I'll do it when I'm competing. If I compete, I'll do it like 5 weeks before. For me, I think it kicks in around like 2.5 weeks. So
I think it takes a little longer if you're bigger. Like, it takes longer to saturate your body in the creatine. Yeah.
There's definitely a loading phase in creatine, but I don't do like some people when they load creatine, they'll do like a couple servings a day until it's in their body. I just do the same, like it's like a tablespoon or a teaspoon or something.
You just wait. If you just do it consistently, you're gonna saturate your body.
Yeah. So creatine takes like 2 weeks or so to kick in, but for me, I think it has a pretty good endurance effects. Like I just feel like I can't get tired when I take creatine, and when I'm now on creatine, I feel like I also can't get tired, but it's a bit easier when I'm on the creatine.
I knew that was coming. Good. Yeah, essentially you're just indestructible year round, and cycling doesn't matter, and creatine doesn't affect you because you're immortal anyway.
You drink.
Yeah.
You supplement with creatine also every day. You cycle off or no?
Yeah, usually I just cycle off when I'm like traveling. It just happens.
Do you think it's
like, I don't
bad for your
travel with
liver?
I
creatine.
think it's bad for your kidneys. Apparently.
No, that was disproven. I don't know why or
Really?
how, but it was.
No, it can increase probability of kidney stones, I believe.
Nope.
I
it
think
was
if you're not drinking enough water, maybe. I mean,
Google it.
We're gonna Google
We got
this.
our Jamie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
if you're
would
not
make
drinking enough
sense
water,
because
you're gonna cramp.
It definitely cramp, but I also think it displaces water in your muscles, right? So like,
Well, that's what
it
that's
shuttles
what it
water
does.
into
Yes,
your
yes.
muscles, so
That's why it's
need
good.
more water.
Yes, yeah.
That may be the reason, because it like dehydrates you, which is inherently bad for your kidneys. But creatine itself, outside the dehydration
Okay,
factor,
all right. We have Ethan's little brother Liam
All right.
googling this.
This is according to the government website.
The CDC, the HO.
if I'm wrong on camera, I'm gonna be.
While creatine users with a history of kidney stones are advised to monitor their condition with the guidance of a professional specialist, there has been no evidence to date to believe that creatine can cause kidney stones.
Oh, okay.
I
So it's a
have
myth.
such a huge brain; it boggles.
It
What kind
boggles
of-
my
what kind of-
brain.
boggles my brain. Yeah.
what kind of creatine do you run?
What me?
Yeah.
Creatine monohydrate.
Creatine, testosterone.
Creatine, TRT,
Crearone.
crearone. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
monohydrate's the one, like the only one.
I thought that's like the main one. What
That's
is
the
the
main
other one?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them, dude.
There's a few,
Really?
yeah, but the monohydrate is the only one that's like across the board.
That's the one.
proven.
That's the one that like everyone.
That's the
usually
one you're
takes.
supposed to take.
And I usually do a flavorless, and I shotgun it. Toss it out.
Really?
Put a little bit of sweet tea in my mouth.
That's
shotgun,
insane.
And then pound
That's
it out.
intense.
Bro, I have a great technique. You don't taste it at all.
But
I mean,
I mean,
it's flavorless.
It's not like it's flavorless. The technique is you buy flavorless creatine.
There you go.
I make like a protein shake. And
You just throw it in there.
yeah.
You know, there's a cool fucking what protein? I forget. There's a protein that Aaron and Nikki put in their coffee, and it
Like collagen or something?
collagen protein.
I take that too.
Yeah,
I take
yeah.
that too. Yeah.
Ain't that for your
Collagen
hair and nails?
peptides.
For like
Oh,
ladies and shit?
I don't take it. I don't know.
Hair and
But,
nails, skin, eyes.
Is it not actual protein? It's not actually good like for building muscle. It's just good for
I think it's also for muscle, but it's more intended for like ligament and joint health,
Shit.
stuff like that.
that's good. Knees.
yeah.
It just reminded me with the powder. Nicky Rod when he travels.
You can't dry scoop that. It'll turn to like goop in your. You'll probably choke to death.
What collagen?
If you
collagen?
dry scoop collagen, I wonder. Yeah.
See, you can do the
If anyone's
creatine because
done
it's
that.
small, right?
It's a
this is
tiny
when people
5 grams,
fuck up
yeah.
when they dry scoop. They put the powder in the dry mouth and then they put water.
And then you do water.
You have to do water, powder, so the powder sits on top, and then pound it, and you don't taste nothing. You're good.
The flavorless.
Yeah.
But Nicky Rod, remember the electrolyte thing with the Gatorade?
Yeah.
So he goes to the airport.
salt
so he has
water.
he has this this concoction that he likes to make. He takes powdered Gatorade and he'll mix it with like a tablespoon of like salt, right, or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then he mixes that in water, and that's his electrolyte solution. So when he travels for competition, he takes Ziploc bags, fills it with powdered Gatorade, and like twists it up in like a baggie
And puts it up his butt.
Just for safe storage.
Yeah.
TSA, you get this one.
He's like,
They put me through the scan. There's like 5 bags.
they're slowly dissolving. You're like, I'm so dehydrated. Can I get some water?
He's like,
Fucking feels like the Sahara. This airport is so dry.
So salty in here. Jeez.
He's having a panic attack.
Yeah.
I have blood pressure.
Just, that'll give you some kidney stones, that's for sure.
Shit.
So,
Gotta drink that
all right,
water.
so you do that. I mean, look, it's working. I tried it once at ADCC. It was
What, Gatorade with the
unbearably salty. I couldn't tolerate that.
Bro,
you know?
so I take a serving of dry Gatorade and take like half a teaspoon of salt, which is like 1,500 milligrams of sodium. And if I drink it, yeah, it's a ton. Bro, and if I have a tournament, I'll drink like 5 of those.
Holy shit! Yeah, your blood must be like so thick.
You have that along with your in and out, bro. You're gonna die.
Well, I only do that for competition. But
Just makes your heart work extra hard. If anything, it's like a workout for your heart. That's good.
It
My muscles
repairs
getting
the
so
heart.
strong.
I think it repairs the heart.
Yeah.
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
question, guys. What do you think? Now, none of us are medical
Yes.
experts, but good. All right, never mind.
Quick, problem solved.
No. So, Element, right? Element and electrolyte solutions, like they have 1,000 milligrams of sodium, right?
I need more.
Okay, whatever. Good. More.
Okay.
So, like, I'll do like 2 or 3 sessions a day, and I want electrolytes throughout those workouts, right? So it's like almost 2,000, 3,000 milligrams of just electrolyte solution,
Yeah.
plus whatever salt that I eat.
I'm with
We're
ya.
athletes and we sweat a lot, so we need a lot of sodium. But at what point are we eating too much sodium that it gives us?
I
heart
think about
disease?
this question every day.
I wake up and I ask myself, what is too much salt?
Yeah, I wake up. I'll be like, is there enough salt in my blood? I have to check. But yeah, I mean,
I can tell the salt. Oh yeah.
My resting heart rate's too low. I gotta bump those numbers. All right. And what answer do you come to?
well, because I sweat. Like I sweat like 5,
I
6.
think we all
7
sweat. We all sweat.
All right, you sweat. You're
I think the team's highest sweaters in order are Nicky Rod, me, Craig, maybe you and Nicky.
Okay.
I think
That's the whole team. That's the whole team.
that's look. Those are the people that come to mind when we're talking about
I
if we're
agree,
gonna rank.
actually.
I mean, I'll do
sweaters.
like 6, 7 pounds in practice, so it's like probably 1,000 milligrams sodium right there.
I have no idea is the thing.
There's no way to measure. You ever lick your
There's
salt?
definitely a way to measure.
There's no way.
Well, you gotta taste your sweat and be like, is it salty?
Is it salty?
I bet
Nuts?
you do
saltier.
There's
So-
probably you could do like blood tests and shit like that, right?
I'm sure.
I'm sure there's ways.
See, I like. How do we? Do you think we're?
I think you go off performance. Like usually, if I'm doing the Gatorade and salt, I'll smash it like halfway through practice. Like maybe I come off the mat for at round 5 or 4. I'll pound it real quick and then go finish my other rounds.
Yeah.
I feel
I feel the best doing that.
if you're gonna train again later in the day, I found that if I drink the element thing like right after training, I can break a sweat sooner, and I'm not like as groggy going into the next session.
Well, you know
Maybe
what's
it's just
crazy
like
too about
placebo,
the
anecdotal,
what's crazy
but-
about the sodium is that like if I sip the sodium before practice, I'm like, this is fucking disgusting.
Yes.
But then when I drink it mid training,
It's the best thing ever.
it's
Yes.
so good.
Yeah. You become more. You find things less salty.
What do we call
You
it?
Salty version?
Satiation. Salt satiation.
Say it again.
Salt satiation.
Satiation.
Sure.
No.
Salta version or something?
No. You're the one that said this.
I know. I
Satiated.
forget.
Wow. You just listened to a podcast before that other podcast to talk about it?
I listen to too many podcasts.
This
man.
guy's fucking Andrew Duberman over here.
Andrew
Andrew
I wish.
Dudeberman.
Andrew Dudeberman. I bro science off this podcast. Just for
But yeah,
I DM'd
electrolytes-
him months ago. He still never answered.
I think electrolytes. Oh, really? I remember that. Fucking dick.
No.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a busy guy.
Busy guy. Yeah, no, a lot of the shit I know is from that
From him.
podcast. Yeah.
Bro, before podcasts, it was hard
Everything
to.
I know.
You have to like read books to
I
learn
think
stuff.
I am.
Yeah,
Now you just put it
podcasts really
on.
changed the game.
Yeah, it's such a good way to learn from reliable people, not just like, Joe Schmo making a YouTube video
Like
or
we're doing.
Well, like if you want to Google something, like the only reason I knew that creatine actually doesn't give you kidney stones is from that podcast.
Huberman?
From
Huberman?
Huberman.
Oh,
I remember
wow.
he said that. Yeah.
I do wonder though. Our generation doesn't read books.
I can't
really.
read.
Like, or as often, and it's like, what do you think? It's it's a negative thing because now there's a lot of other ways to get information. Before it really only was.
I think there's
Reading-
more efficient ways of
Efficiency,
learning. Yeah. But I think reading still is good. It probably teaches you to learn more patiently. I
Bro,
don't
when
have the
you're-
attention span to read anymore.
When you're
I hate it.
reading, all you can do is that one thing. When you're listening to podcasts, you can learn and fucking fix a bike or something.
We
Like,
all have
yeah, what the
ADHD because we grew up with like TV shows and screens and games, and we're probably functioning faster, but I don't know if that's good or bad.
Better or not.
Yeah.
Do you think
Who knows?
it's actually all right? So then, is ADHD taught? Basically, it's a
No,
consequence of your
I think it's
environment.
probably born with a better brain. It's probably
It's
what it
because the
is.
5G.
Yeah, the 5G.
Yeah, the networks.
No, I think ADHD probably just have more thoughts, right? I don't know what's the
I
difference?
think it is. I think it is like
Like a higher
learned,
RPM.
though. Like
I
let's
think part of
let's
it
say
is
you
learned.
raise a kid like in a you guys live, I don't know, in some super rural neighborhood like where you're still like farming. A kid goes to school, but you go home and he has like normal chores and like there's no TV in the house. It's just like
That guy's not growing up with anxiety.
he's not growing up with
He's not.
anxiety.
He's
He's
not.
probably going to be reading and he's probably not going to get a lot of pussy. But maybe, who knows? Anyway,
Dude, bro,
point
my
is
mom, your parents ever make you guys read when you're younger?
they read to me.
Read to you, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually read a bit.
Willingly?
Yeah.
No, the gun pointed to my
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's Asian.
It depends. I really liked like business books, like learning about
When you were
books
like
like that.
10?
I was in
Ever read
middle school.
Bob the Businessman.
No, like Rich Dad Poor Dad or like Robert Kiyosaki. Like I thought that was fucking super cool.
You ever read Judy Blume?
No.
No.
Tom and Jerry?
Tom and Jerry. Cat in the Hat.
Did
yeah.
you read? Did you
It's
read?
a great
There's no
read.
way.
Yeah, mom would make me read, but I would do things like I'd scan it, and I'd get like the gist of it, and then she'd like ask me a couple of questions, I'd get them right, and then I could go outside, shit like that.
Oh wow,
Sick.
really?
That's actually good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you guys
good,
have?
that's good.
What,
But
what
I would be, I was so hyper as a kid, I'd be vibrating while I'm reading, like just wanting to get the fuck out of the house,
Drinking
I
salt.
do.
I want to go outside. Nicky Rod, read this goddamn book. Okay.
I do remember rushing through like homework just so I can go outside to play. Like I fucking hated homework.
Homework was, I still think it's not that good to give. I mean,
Let
your
kids
are-
run outside and play around.
They're in
and
school
shit,
for
man.
6-8 hours a day. I mean, you gotta
And
go
I
home and do
have
more
to do
shit.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly I don't even think
Even the structure of young kids having to sit still for 8 hours a day. I mean, it's kind of.
I don't think it's
torture.
good. Yeah, I don't think it's honestly good. I don't think school is that effective or the most effective way to teach kids.
What do you guys think about learning in jiu-jitsu and like how? Okay, so most classes are structured like all right. You get in there, I don't know, most classes do a warm-up, right? You get in there, let's say you do a warm-up or you don't, or the warm-up is technique, that you do technique and then you start live training. Like, do you think there's like a better way to like implement learning how to out-grapple someone? Like you play games, for example, or like you give them like
Just an idea.
play games, for example, or like you give them like tasks that they have to like beat this guy in. So like one guy has to like your job is to get hooks in from turtle or like I don't know shit like that.
I
Like,
think
what do you
that's,
think?
I think I understand what you're saying. Like if you can create games in jiu-jitsu where you're winning mini battles, you add them all up, and then eventually you're learning huge sequences without it really like taking too much cognitive energy because you've already done these little battles and you kind of just put it all together.
You understand how to like win those little battles
'Cause,
in the midst of the scramble, like you get your knee around the corner better, or like jump a seatbelt and like cinch your hands in a more efficient
I think
way
the
or
whole
something.
idea is I think if the whole thing is just seen as a game in and of itself, like you can have mini games, stuff like that, but it's like with training, if you see training as a game, then you're just more able to learn. Like you're more receptive. You're willing to try new shit.
Yeah.
Probably more
anyways.
fun too.
Exactly.
Takes the
exactly.
pressure off. Yeah, you know.
They
it's
say
like-
children learn the most when they're having fun, right? Through games and whatnot.
Yes,
through
yes.
playful experiences, and that's we just a bunch of big kids trying to play around.
It's true.
I mean,
We never
that
grew up.
pretty much we just stuck with a game that we kind of like to play. You know, actually, Marcelo Garcia said this. Whether or not he, whatever, regardless of how you think his jiu-jitsu is,
Whether you like the guy or not.
yes,
Damien doesn't.
No, I have no opinions. But he was saying, like, he was getting interviewed and asked why he, at the time, he was like the greatest. Like, why was he the greatest? And he's like, I don't think I'm like the most technical or the smartest or whatever, but it's like I definitely love training the most. Like I love playing around the most. So that's what got him to such a high level.
Yeah, like if you always go in there and you just try and win every round, or you don't want to open up and go outside your comfort zone, you're gonna
plateau.
You're gonna plateau. You're gonna get as good as you can in the areas that you're good at. Probably really good in those areas because you're just constantly repping those same spots, but you're not going to branch out. And then, like, if a guy takes you to another spot, or if he happens to be good at negating that one thing that you're good at, you're kind of screwed. And it's going to,
That's one thing I feel like I realize in MMA. It's like, so.
There's so many variables. There's so many more ways to beat a guy.
Yes. But then also it's like, all right, well, now I have to explore the places that I suck in, like striking. Now I'm back to being like
There's
a white belt.
There's a lot more of those areas. There's a lot more holes. Like jiu-jitsu, like, all right, you suck at one or two things. It's quite easy to like cap it off and get a well-rounded game. Like MMA is such a bigger plethora of skills, so you gotta.
It's so much you need to learn for MMA. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because it's like, all right, we spent so much time trying to get to a certain level in jiu-jitsu. We finally get there, and then it's like,
now 12 other stats.
Yeah, it's like, shit, there's so many other sports that I also have to get good at too.
What would you say? So like, I think wrestling is the most important, it's like base skill for MMA. Did I say that right? Yeah, wrestling is the most important. In my opinion, what would you say?
The problem with the great jiu-jitsu guys in MMA is that a lot of them can't
get to the ground. The guy could just jab him at a distance, and if he's not a good enough wrestler to get him down, the other guy can just get his wrestling good enough to stay on the feet. Jiu-jitsu guy's screwed.
Well, it's hard. It's really hard to say because this is why styles make matchups. Right? It's like, all right, you could say wrestling's the best, but then you still have Alex Pereira that won the belt, or Izzy, who has like really
like
wrestling.
you put Alex Pereira against a guy who can take him down.
Yes.
Like Islam might be a not Islam. What's the guy with the lip?
Khamzat.
He might be a
Khamzat.
tough match for
Khamzat.
Like I think his style would be a tough match for Pereira.
Yes.
Pereira's like
Pereira can knock him out. Pereira can for sure knock him out, but if Khamzat just walks at him, like he just eats a shot or two, like what are the odds he KOs him on the first 2-3 shots versus he just gets a hold of him and he could like ragdoll him down and control him.
It's definitely safer. I genuinely think grappling is just a safer way to fight if you can.
There's
get to
less
the
of
ground.
a puncher's chance.
Yes,
right?
yes. But it's like, all right, you have Damien Maya, who isn't like a great wrestler in the open, but if he gets him against the fence, it's like you're going down. Even if that person, like wrestling, totally changes when you're against the fence now because sprawling doesn't work the same. It's
completely different.
You saw that with John Jones and Cormier. Like Cormier's on paper the better wrestler.
Yeah.
But John Jones takes him down a couple times.
So it's like, dude, styles do make matchups. I don't even know. I would say if there's one skill that I would like to have, like if
there's one that you want to master.
Yeah, I don't even know because, dude, I feel like jiu-jitsu.
I'll think wrestling because I could just, worst case, if I am getting outstruck, if the guy is better at jiu-jitsu, I could either, if he's better at jiu-jitsu, I keep it on the feet using wrestling. If he's better at striking, I put it on the ground using wrestling. You could like control where the fight is.
Some wrestlers though are great at taking opponent down, but not holding them at all. That's where the jiu-jitsu comes in.
That's where the jiu-jitsu comes in. Yeah,
dude, it's really hard to say because I mean, like you get a D1 wrestler against the fence, man. It's a different sport.
Yeah, it's different.
So even if you have,
but like then you could say the wrestler would probably have a better like proficiency at becoming a better cage wrestler than like a kickboxer. Like it's more grappling.
What about jiu-jitsu versus wrestler?
On the fence?
On the fence, though, it's like now because now you're talking like Kosoto's become a huge
the
deal.
Back takes are different. I don't know. I don't fence wrestle that much. So I don't really know. But I would still. I would still say I'd give the edge to the wrestler. Like if you take a pure jiu-jitsu guy and a pure wrestler and you tell them both, okay, you need to fence wrestle each other in a month. I think the wrestler is gonna figure it out more faster. I don't know.
Say that, yeah. I mean, wrestlers also there are more wrestlers in like professional fighting, I think, than jiu-jitsu fighters.
Well, wrestling also forces you to become athletic.
It is
much more
dynamic
taxing,
sport.
physically demanding.
Also, I think the age that people start wrestling, usually at like 5, 6,
Yeah,
7, 8.
straight out of the
so
womb.
they're doing it for
Yeah.
a like couple decades before they
I
actually
will
start fighting.
also, if you don't know any jiu-jitsu, you are screwed because you're just going to get the first sub attempt. You're just going to not know where to go.
no
Versus
idea.
if you don't know any wrestling, you're not as screwed. Like you can just stand up. Isn't like it's not like rocket science, but like to know what to do to get out of a triangle or a heel hook. Again, not rocket science, but it's a lot more complicated than just trying to stand up.
Also,
on
you
your
can
feet.
hit
Everyone
submissions
kinda-
from standing and on the ground. You can
If wrestling
Yeah,
you shoot
you-
in, you get guillotined.
Exactly. So if you don't have any sub defense, yes, jiu-jitsu is more important. But once you get that like base understanding, sub escapes, I would much rather be the master of wrestling.
Yeah, I think overall grappling, like if you're saying striking versus grappling in MMA, it's like I think I would want to be a master grappler.
Yes,
than a
it's
master
more
striker.
likely. Well, fuck, I don't know.
Dude, because if you look at the numbers, it's like, all right, I'm a master striker versus, a subpar striker. I'll be able to hit him maybe like 7, 8 times. He might
gonna
hit
knock
me
him
once.
out? Yeah.
It's like 8-1 or 8-2. If I'm a better grappler, I can hit you 50 times and you're not gonna hit me at all. So it's like just the sheer numbers is like it's just a safer way to fight, I feel like. It's not as flashy, it's not as cool for the fans, but
Yeah.
you will be a lot safer if you're the better grappler.
Yeah, you look at the Dagestani guys; they're all.
How do you guys think
bread
the
and butter.
Makachev?
That is a crazy
Volk
fight.
fight.
Makachev versus Volkanovski.
How do you guys think?
You guys go.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm voting for Volk. Team.
Let's go for Volk. Team Craig,
Volk,
man, yeah.
Team Craig. But again, it's styles clash, man. You got the wrestling heavy base versus the guy that can seemingly get off the ground pretty easily.
Yeah, Volk like sub defense and just pin defense. Like he can't. Yeah, shout out to Craig's most recent DVD, Just Stand Up. Seems like that's a real. Apparently, it's really hard to hold down, which is.
Volk apparently. That's what
Volk's
Craig was
really
saying,
hard
yeah.
to hold down, and that's their whole like Makachev needs to hold a guy down to beat him. It seems like.
Yeah, I think Volk definitely has better striking than Islam. I think he's going to win the striking department, and I think if Volk could just not get holding down, he's going to win the fight. And it is a weight class difference though.
It's a
There
weight
is
class above, but
matters
Volk
a
used
lot.
to be huge.
Yeah, that's what
So,
everybody says. Volk used to be huge, but
Apparently,
also
he's really strong. Who knows, man?
the thing is, so everybody says. I mean, I'm rooting for Volk, and to be honest, if there's anyone to beat Makachev, I feel like Volk has to be the guy.
Is there anyone in 155 that can
I mean,
beat
dude,
Makachev?
you could say like Oliveira, but it's like he got subbed.
Yeah.
like it's a fucked up.
You ever
it's
face
tough.
Dustin? Did
Poirier?
Makachev ever face Dustin? No.
Well,
You guys got those.
So
Okay, go back.
Volk is one weight class below. He was stronger, but it's like, all right, the whole thing with him is he can get up.
Mm-hmm.
It's still tiring, even if you do get taken down, to get back up. Now he does have very good cardio, but that's like, dude, getting taken down, getting back up, getting taken down. Getting back up.
What matters more, right? Him being tired of getting back up, or Islam being like, fuck, it's hard to hold this guy down. Like what's more taxing?
Think about it from your perspective. Would you rather be the person that gets the guy down and then as he's getting up, you're just holding your weight, or the guy keeps taking you down and you are getting back up, but you're getting up with his weight?
I'd rather do the takedowns.
that's how
I think it's
feel.
more tiring to get up. You're helping the other guy up, like in a small way.
That's kind of
carrying his body weight.
But I do think, yeah, if I mean the striking definitely, I think leans towards.
I would assume that Volk would have a higher RPM than this guy as well. Like,
I would think so too. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he does not get tired.
It's
That's
insane.
crazy.
5 rounds, no
It's
problem.
insane.
Bro, he looks just as sharp at 5th round as he does first round. But
How
now-
do you get that kind of cart? Like, what is that?
I think
How do you
that's
do
genetics,
that,
bro.
man?
I think that's
It's
genetics.
like you need so much cognitive energy too. You need to be so sharp at the
Yes,
round.
yes.
It's a long time.
Like when you're tired and you're thinking and you're moving properly, it's like, fuck. Sometimes when you're tired, you're not.
We gotta
even,
get an
like,
assault
really
bike in the
thinking.
gym. I
Assault
seriously,
bikes are
I think we
crazy,
should
bro.
get an assault bike for
I have
DT. I would love
Don't
to
you have
do
an
it.
assault bike here?
Here, like in
Like
the
in the
yeah, but it's kind of like broken. We should get one
really?
for the gym. We should just do that between rounds. Yeah.
It
I think so.
could be like after
Yeah.
fights,
I hate them.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking exhausting. Dude,
You know what I think we should do? We should all get whoop straps, put a TV up, and see whose heart rate is the highest.
That's what
and
they-
then like see who's like gassing out and like. I think that would be cool.
I worked out with Tim Kennedy a few times, and that's exactly what they do. They give
Yeah,
us,
they put whoop straps, and you have a TV, and you're like, oh, he's redlining, he's coasting, he's
like
red
he's
zone,
being a
green
bitch,
zone.
basically.
Huh?
Like whoever so and so is
Yeah,
being
stay
a
in
bitch.
red.
Yes,
They're not-
yeah, exactly.
Being
You
a
see,
red line. Fuck.
yeah,
You gotta hold
yeah.
yourself accountable.
Yeah.
And if not, they'll pick it up.
Yeah, this guy's blue zone, this guy's green zone, fucking up the RPMs or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, work
shit.
harder.
Sick, dude.
You know, and then you get like the readouts on, like if it's everyone's on the assault bike, you see like you're redlining at this output, your cardio's shit. You're green zone at this output, you're not even tired, you need to push harder. Like stuff like that. So I think that'd be really cool to see while we're doing rounds. Like let's say you're getting a war with someone and like I don't know, you think you're tired, but like you see you're not even
Like not pushing it.
yeah, you're not pushing it. So like it teaches you how to pace yourself. You just get more info on how you feel versus how hard you're actually
All right,
working.
now here.
Yeah.
Do you think that even helps really with grappling with jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now-
I think it helps with pacing. I think it helps with like just understanding like how long it takes you to recover between scrambles and like how much you can push the guy. And then you see like, oh, he's not breathing heavy yet. I have to like keep myself reserved because if I push him and he's not tired yet, I'm going to gas myself out. So you have to like play with it.
I mean, so for MMA, I feel like it matters a bit more because like the intensity is just so high.
5
I feel
minutes
like-
also. It's short.
Yeah, 5-minute rounds or
Yeah.
like sometimes even 3-minute rounds in amateur. And it's like
Oh, I didn't know that. 3-minute rounds.
Yeah. So it's like just a sprint. But in grappling, it's like it could be a 15-minute match. You're really never redlining.
What's your fight? How long's your fight?
Mine's 3-minute rounds. Yeah.
Yeah, the idea is to never redline, but sometimes the guy is gonna push you there, or like imagine you're like our last event, like I wasn't really redlining, but like I was using everything I had to get the submission to pry his limbs away from his body, and like maybe if I kept some more,
If you had more whoop.
if I had more whoop experience. But look, let's say
there's
if
something to be said to be comfortable at that red line, to be
Yeah.
exhausted and be
I think
comfortable.
that too. I think it is a strength when you are extremely exhausted
And you
to
still- you can
mentally, like, I
maintain
can
there.
fucking do
Yeah,
this. Like,
yeah.
I can still go through. But I don't think we should really try to. I think if we redlined and we're at that fucking cusp, it's like shit kind of went wrong in the match.
But you should try
Yeah,
but you should
exactly.
practice there. You should put yourself there and practice. You should, if you redline like 5 times a week, your max heart rate is going to start to not like a lot, but it's going to start to increase, and you're going to start to get used to that higher output. So you're going to be like
I remember,
better taking in oxygen.
I remember I heard this one of these coaches say like
Tree
it's-
mold?
No, they're like they're like, hey, it's whatever like your VO2 max you're born with, it's nearly impossible to push further than that. So you might
I
as well not
heard
try.
that too,
I'm
but
like-
so I did the test at UT, Texas, whatever, University of Texas.
Texas.
That's not true. You can increase your
right?
VO2 max, yeah.
But what percentage?
It's
It
not
doesn't matter.
major.
Even because at our level, even the slightest little
Makes
bit
a
matters.
huge difference. And it's also
I don't think
it's
so.
the oxygen absorption of your body that you can absolutely increase.
Really?
You can produce more small blood vessels in your lungs, in your heart, and in your extremities, that's the whole point. Like it's more surface area to diffuse oxygen and absorb CO2 out of your muscles.
I understand. Now it's like
Clear
all right,
lactate,
so if a
shit like
small,
that.
a small percentage.
That's the word I was looking for.
The VO2 max increases just a small percentage. Like, do you think that's more valuable than just understanding the technique to become more efficient?
Well, you need it all. You
You need it all. You need it all. They're both.
Yeah,
why?
yeah.
Why do only one? You do both.
Because you only
fair
get
enough. Not mutually
certain
exclusive.
techniques come when opportunities come. So maybe that technique that you have down comes at that last minute in the match. And you're like, fuck, do I have the energy to push?
And maybe
through
you're
this?
both really technical, and you're can't like every attack you throw, he has a counter, and you have a counter, and you separate off, and the scramble ends, and you're just scramble after scramble, and you're both getting tired. Like who has the ability to go, more explosive at the end? Like sometimes your match with Cole. At the end, like you guys are, I'm assuming you're not redlining, you're not exhausted, but like if you were as fresh, like 2 minutes into the match,
beginning.
if you were as fresh 8 minutes into the match as you were 2 minutes into the match, I think you would
I
get,
think-
you
I
would
think
break
it'd be
through
different.
to a sub through one scramble.
Yeah,
You'd get on
no-
his back, your seatbelt would be a little tighter, you
I
have
think
the
the
energy to
VO2
go.
max thing too. Like the better your cardio's, the better you're gonna be able to think clearly when you're exhausted.
Yeah, you're not as like frustrated and like, you know, loopy in your movements, and you're more like jolty, and you're going to jump on a sub with more intent to finish the guy versus like, fuck, like I can't get on this guillotine, or like, oh, I don't feel like scrambling to my feet right now. Like,
Good.
makes difference.
We
Makes
should
difference.
wrap this up soon. We got belts.
Yeah.
Go train.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, we got to
Some
work on
training to
VO2 max.
go. Yeah.
That's it.
But thanks for watching, guys. This is
Yes.
Damien Anderson.
Nicky Rod.
Ethan Crelinsten.
Catch you next time.
You've been simplified. Question mark?
You're welcome.
Later.